bare necessities, the makeup bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Yeah, man. Hi. How are you doing? Are you keeping well in quarantine? Are you going mad? I'm going a little bit mad. But tutorials keep me going. I have been asked to strip it back to basics. One of my friends made me aware that they didn't even know what sponge was, what brushes do what's that fanny brush for. And it kind of got me thinking, like, yeah, okay, we're doing all this. There's so many people doing these tutorials, like, oh, create this look, create that look. And we're not talking about the basics of what on earth is contouring, why do you contour, how do you mix the foundation, and just basically, so today we're going back to basics. The foundation of good skin, Aqua. And not a lot of sugar, which I have been having a little bit too much of, which caused me to have a little bit of a breakout, but I got rid of it. I did a facial. I actually used, I've been using these for a few months now. They're not expensive. The Ordinary Clinical Formulations with Integrity. I happen upon them in my, I've got a vast array of skincare. I use a lot of Herbalife skincare, but I wanted proper hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, what is it? Okay, so you know when you have lip fillers, or you have fillers up here, plumped, hyaluronic acid is what that is. Okay, so if you're putting that on your skin, it's going to keep it all plumped and firm and looking la 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 la. So all I have done is I obviously washed my face, and I always go in with a cleansing wipe to get to the nitty gritty, because it's quite astounding what's still on the pad. Sometimes I use my exfoliating tonic to do this, which you have seen me do. But we got to start with a clean face. Bingo, hit the bin. Now this one, okay, the peeling solution I really only do like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, because it really does take, it's the red stuff that looks like blood actually. You don't want to be doing it too often because it does take kind of a layer off, but it got rid of them as it. That almost happened. Okay, this one, the Argiline Solution 10%, it targets the appearance of dynamic facial lines. I'm nearing the big 4-0. This is a really low viscosity. Before you put on any makeup, you really do need to make sure that you put your moisturizers on and your eye gels and If you don't prep your skin first, don't expect your makeup to stay on. This, again, really low viscosity. It's, you know, it's got the viscosity of water. But I just kind of dab it around my eyes where I would get lines. Maybe I would get like here. That's it. Then my second one that I swear by, hyaluronic acid. This is a new one. I just ran out of my other one. This is brand new, this one. Yeah, I've been using it for I would say like 6 months now. The Ordinary. It's really not expensive, really not. For skincare, it's not. Just a few drops. So this is the hyaluronic acid. It's a little bit kind of more like a gel-ish. Yeah, I've been using it for, I reckon, about 6 months, and I have had a lot of compliments on my skin, and that's great. In fact, this time last year, I almost didn't get let back into the country because my 8-year-old passport, they said I looked younger than I did on my passport. I was like, I'll take that, cheers, but can I go back home, please? Yeah, crazy, huh? So I need a bigger dressing table. I use the Herbalife firming eye gel, and I use such a tiny little bit. Well, I'm not there. I press hard. Urgh. Around here. Okay, now that is going to dry in, and it's going to give us a little bit of a base of something to stick to. I'm just going to keep this really, really basic. I just want to do a base and a contour and just try and do something really simple. But this is me we're talking about. I always put my base on before I do my eyes. I know I think I might be the only person that does that. But I do. It's just, I've tried doing it the other way. It just feels alien to me. So let's talk about different ways of applying. Some people use a brush, some people use a sponge, some people use their fingers. I have a tutorial, it's called All About That Base, where I've tried out different foundations, different primers, and different techniques of applying, like brushes, sponges, so you can go on and have a little look at that. I'm going to show you my preferred method. I'm going to use my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation SB15. Reason being, it's quite a heavy coverage, and jellyfish skin. Hi. And I don't want to go with the my last one. I kind of bronze myself everywhere. I'm not going to do that today because that requires an awful lot of makeup in. Now, let's talk about beauty blenders. This is a beauty blender makeup sponge. Don't use it dry. Soak it in warm water. I mean, I wash mine after every single use. As soon as I've finished putting my makeup on, I wash all my brushes and my sponges. This is just a MAC Prep and Prime primer that I'm using to damp it down. And also my favourite, I love this one. This is Bounce Cosmetics Beauty Blender. All of the stuff that I get. And I'm going to try and use not massively expensive makeup either. I'm going to try. But, yeah, can't promise anything. So, we're going to start base. You know, I always use the back of my hand as a palette. Do I want to put any pigment drops in? Okay, if you want a bit more of a glow in your skin, then you can either put a primer on first, or you can add it in with your foundation. It depends on my mood. I've got Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow here. I'd normally put that all over my face first, but I'm going to smash it in with my foundation. There's a fly in here. It's going to, oh my God, it's going to drive me nuts. I didn't just hit that. Okay, so I'm going to take my Bounce Cosmetics and I'm going to take the fat end, dab it into my palette. Okay, if you're using a sponge, I'm going to do 1/2 with the sponge and 1/2 with a brush. I don't like using a brush. I don't like using a brush. I just don't. I think it's a personal preference thing. When you do your foundation, don't stop there. Your skin doesn't stop there because it just looks like you've got a mask on. So the reason I chose that particular foundation, it matches my skin tone, but covers it pretty well. That's why I burnt myself on my tongs. Oh my God, I'm going to kill that fly. Okay, so there's a couple of types of foundation brushes. There's one like this, which you can use to put it on. I've seen that. But if I use a brush, I've got this brush, but this is a rarity. I have tried to, somebody's asked me, like, where did I get it? Can I get it again? No, I can't. So I think it'd be unfair if I used that, right? Okay, so I'm going to do the other side using a brush, which I hate doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. So, two different methods of applying your foundation. We good? We good? Is the light good? We're all getting this so far? Oh, just look straight into the spotlight. Okay, now, next step. I'll put this away. Contouring. What the hell is contouring? Contouring is basically sculpting your face using lights and darks, either creams or powders, which I'm going to use both of, to sculpt your face into looking more defined. So you have more defined cheekbones, the hollows of your cheek. If you've got a big fat nose like me, I am always looking to make my nose look smaller, and my nose is broken. And so it kind of goes like that. So I'm always trying to make the bridge of my nose slimmer. Goals. So first of all, I'm going to use this very cheap palette, W7. Like, W7 can be found in most drugstores, and they do some really good palettes and they're really cheap. So beginners, start there before you go into buying real fancy stuff. Because you might find that like makeup isn't for you. You don't really fancy using makeup, so. Okay, so we've got our highlighters and our contours and our very cheap palette. I'm going to start off with using the light. I dampened down my brush a little bit using the MAC Prep and Prime. Okay. I need to go close up, okay? Stay there. Okay, so this is the lighter one. So you want to highlight where the light would naturally hit. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the consistency of the light one on this one, I've got to be honest. It's a bit cakey. But, yeah. Okay, now taking a darker, I'm going to draw a line, and I want to get the dark really, almost really tight lined in there to make the bridge seem smaller, okay? Got quite far and draw your line. Okay. I'll be following on so far. Yeah. Okay. So now, just using my finger, I'm going to take that dark contour, stick it in your cheeks. There's your hollow. Again, you can use a brush for this, but why? I'm going to go a bit on the brow as well. And that must be blended into the hairline and a bit on the temple. And a bit. Under here. Now, I have a contour stick that I much prefer to use. Now, concealer. This is Radiance Reveal. It's just a hydrating concealer in shade Ivory. I'm going to brighten up my eye area. I'm going to use this because it's got a doe foot. It's got a like little applicator. But I'm also going to put it on my lid because I need a base for my eyeshadow to cling to. I'm actually just going to just go over where I didn't like that. Okay, this is what I look like before I blended. So I'm going to blend this side using a sponge and this side using a brush. Okay, so that's cosmetics. At the corner, I'm going to blend the light one first. And I'm not doing anything other than dabbing it. Okay, now I'm just turning to the larger end for the darker contour. Sorry, every time I move, something knocks against the mirror. It's annoying. Making a really annoying noise. That's once I blended, but can you see how that brings out? Already brings out and defines the shape, your face shape. We know. I'm just gonna dampen my buffer brush. Actually, when it comes to doing contour, actually, probably using a brush like this, which is like flat, fat and angled, is kind of good, actually. Eating words. That is base. That is my base. This is the base. So it's all blended. I've done my foundation, I've done my contouring. All it has done is define, brighten, and slim the nose a little bit, but I'm going to make that better. Use a bit of the Laura Mercier, actually. Because to be fair, it is the Laura Mercier powder. It is, I have never found a better translucent powder. And if you do want to bake, okay, what is baking? That's a good point. Baking is where you put the powder on over your concealer and you leave it to set, to bake. So if I want to go and make my eyes look a little more drawn up, then I will put that on there and leave it to set and bake. Again, I come up a little higher on my nose to make it look, please, slimmer. Well, the trickery is amazing. Bit of my eyeshadow, my eyebrows. Chiseling. This is just defining. The reason I'm doing this, it defines your jawline. And it just makes everything look slimmer, chiseled, more defined, stronger, not chubby. Which is goals for everyone, do you not think? Right, then I would probably then use, if I'm going to go for like a light colour, let me see if I got a cheap one. Darn it. Oh, I have a good date. Just a face powder. I do believe. Yeah, this is like a collection 2000. This is well cheap. And using a big fluffy brush. Just powder the rest. I do want to bake this, so I'm leaving it. Just want to powder the rest. Don't put loads on. Okay? Following so far? Using powders to contour. My brain just will not find words today. Okay, Barry M. It's a very simple contour palette. That's where you want to use your dark. That's your highlighter, and that's a bit of blush. Okay, with an angled brush, pretty fluffy. These, I got these in a set off Groupon. I have so many brushes, it's crazy, but this is what, if you've got a set of brushes and you've got an angled one, this is what it's for. Okay, with my dark powder, I'm going to go in and redefine. Do you see how that instantly makes my face look slimmer and makes my cheekbone look pop? That's why you contour. This is contouring. I'm going to go in my hairline a little bit, smash it up and do a tip push. Now, if you want a super chiseled look under here, if you do really want a strong jawline, and you have a flat stubby brush like so, that bad boy, this is quite soft, is what that one is for. Now going back in with my little brushes, I'm going to redefine the contour I did on my nose. Actually, I'm going to try and use these. These are actual contours and highlighter powders. Cheap Chips, got them off Amazon. So I'm going to get the dark powder. And I want to slim that bridge. Make my nose smaller, please. Actually, I forgot I had these. They're quite good, actually. And then this is the highlighter one. There's 4 shades. There's like a very dark one, medium dark one, very light one, medium light one. And then I'm just going to go back up with the light one. Here. Here. Don't see me do. Okay. If you have a bulbous nose like me, you don't want to be going light here. No, 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 no. Because you're basically going, look on my nose, everybody. You want to slim your nostrils. Is it your alar rim? I think it is. It sounds rude, right? I'm going to go a little bit darker here. Just darken here. It's like, I guess it's like painting a portrait with 3D. And I'm going to let that bake as well. That is contouring. Cut. I'm going to let it bake. Okay, so whilst that was baking, I went and I washed my brushes and my sponge. So let's do that immediately to prevent staining. That has baked long enough, so I'm just going to get rid. Actually, I'm going to use this one. Just big fat fluffy brush. It's baked a little bit too hard on there. You see what I mean by baking? It sets longer. If you just put it on, take it off. Just putting it on and taking it off. But if you put it on with like a, whilst your base is still fairly damp, and bake it, I do feel like I'm contoured. So this would be the start of me actually putting some colour on my face. Basics. So hopefully that was helpful. Pop in the comments if you want me to recap and talk about the sponges, brushes, pros, cons, yada yada yada. This I used the brush, this I used the sponge. Visually, not really much difference. How it feels, not much difference. I just prefer using a sponge. That's just me. The rest is up to you. And that is the basics of foundation and contouring using powders and creams. It was helpful, and I'm going to go on to do the rest of my makeup, which I will follow on and do. Hello, how are we doing? Okay, so I have done my base already. As you know, or you might not know, this might be the first time you've ever watched any of my videos. If not, watch some more and you'll know that I always do my base before I do anything else, and I seem to be the only person that does this, and I don't know why I do it this way. I just do. I don't have any problems with it, so I'm gonna do it. Anywho, I want to go for a pretty simple look. I've already done my contouring and my base. See, I've tried to make my nose look smaller and give myself a bit of shape and chisel. So I want to go with a strong lip and a very basic eye, because normally I go lots of the eyes and very nude on the lips, and I'm like, meh. Why? Let's have some fun today. So I'm going to try and use, I'm trying to use as cheap as makeup as I can, because a friend had said to me, she's like, I don't even know what brushes I'm supposed to use and what's contouring. So I'm trying to break everything down, back to basics, bare necessities. Oh, before I forget, if you could click the thumbs up and then maybe click the subscribe button and maybe pop a comment below and say nice things, or you know, just say hi, because I like engaging with you all. That sounds odd.